Nice that you clicked on this video and want to do something for your back. I will show you today how you can train correctly to prevent pain. Sounds interesting? Then join in right away and stay tuned, because in the end you will receive a special tip from me. For the first exercise, we will go into a kneeling position. If you have problems with your knees, then no problem, just go to the wall and stand up. But the effects are better in the kneeling position because we then stretch another muscle, which does not happen in a standing position. So if possible, try to do it like this. Maybe you just go to a bed or a mattress, to some soft surface where you can kneel comfortably. Also place the feet this way if possible, then the angle will be even better, even more efficient. Afterwards, you grab with both hands the lower part of the buttocks. Why down? Because that's where the hip joint is, more or less, and you want to push the hip joint forward so that you overextend less in the back than in the hip. And there we go, you push the inguinal ligaments forward and try to pull the belly button back. And then it can happen that you quickly notice, oh, it pulls all the way into the back. Keep moving forward, engaging the groin muscles, and the belly button wants to move back, groin forward, belly button back. This is not easy, but with each practice it gets better. You'll control it more and more. Keep breathing in deeper. With each exhale, go a little further into the stretch. If you are unstable or unsure while kneeling, place the chair next to you and hold on to it with one hand for support. In the wall variation, I forgot to mention earlier, you simply hold slightly with your hands. You are not touching the buttocks with your hands. And now press as hard as possible. This is also a shoulder exercise. Press your hands really firmly against your lower buttocks and then try to come up. And then you realize by pressing you block the upward movement so you can counteract, then release again and go a little further into the stretch. You will notice right away something opens up, you have a bigger angle. And again you want to lift with the torso, but as you lift, you push against it, pushing more and more against it, holding it nicely and then relaxing again and going further into the stretch again. And come out. Now feel inside. Take a few steps if necessary. Feel what your pain is saying now, what your tension is saying. It could be that you already feel a bit freer. If that's the case, it would be great to actually share the video with everyone you know who has back pain or its early stages, as almost everyone has. For the second exercise, get down to the crawling position and first push your back up, especially in the lower part, then come down with your groin first, let yourself hang down and extend your left knee out. And then you notice now the stretching is focused on the right side. And now you are basically doing the same thing we just did. You are trying to keep your belly button more towards the top and with the right groin more towards the bottom, always moving further. And then you feel the stretching in the groin. It can also radiate back into the back. It must not be too intense. You always have to remember, it should still be a comfortable pain. That is important. And always move slowly. Come further down during the exhalation. And we start to do a little strength training here as well to improve the effect. Press with your right knee against the ground, release, relax, and let the groin move further down. And again, you press with your right knee against the ground, relax, and go down with the groin, with the right groin. Take some time and feel in, always feel in. Always try to understand what is happening in the body. The more often you do this, the better you can assess it. And again, the right knee presses firmly against the mat. You relax and go a little deeper. And then we switch the whole thing to the other side. Please come out. Place your right knee next to it, and your right foot is on the inside of the left knee. And now you lower the left side down with the groin. Always work with an emphasis on the hip flexors, because then we are more in the hip flexor stretch, and the hip flexor is in our experience the main trigger for these horrible pains and also for the early stages of them. Gently come down with the right groin, always going deeper. And start with the left knee, building pressure against the ground. And relax again and go deeper in. Let it sink in a little more. We will wait a little longer until the muscles and fascia give in more. By the way, if you can't hold yourself up on your arms, on your hands, then lay down with your chest on the couch or on a chair. Beautiful, keep going down, let it sink. And press again with the left knee against the ground. And you can press really hard, you just must not lift your hip. It must stay right there. And relax again and come further down. And again, press firmly, left knee presses against the ground. Relax and continue to descend. And slowly come out again. Feel inside and write a comment. Let me know how you are doing with the exercises, please. Also, in the next exercise, you will need arm strength again, but right from the start, if your arms are not so strong and the shoulder area is not quite fit. Then go directly to the couch and lie down on your side with your forearm resting on the couch, or not even with your forearm, but only with the lateral chest. And just let yourself hang down. You place the other leg practically next to you, as you can see, and now start stretching to the left in the waist, which pulls in the pelvis. Depending on how shortened it is for you, how tense it is, it also pulls higher towards the armpit. And just let yourself hang now. When you notice after 15-20 seconds, oh, I can't hold it, then that was a great workout. Go out and practically go to the couch. It's best to always try for as long as possible, even if it's only 5 seconds, because with each repetition the body trains and eventually it will work and you will have a completely different shoulder and arm stability and strength. And now we start by pressing the left leg more and more against the ground, pressing it really firmly against the ground, letting go and sinking further into the stretch. If it doesn't work at all with the hanging, by the way, then stand up and bend to the side, bend sideways. And again, press the leg against the ground really tight, relax and push a little further in. And you notice that really stretches, and that is good for your back. And again, press firmly into the ground with the left leg, relax and press even further in. And then slowly come out, and we immediately switch sides. Support yourself on the right, allowing you to increasingly sink down, hanging on the right side. Breathe nicely and wait until the stretching builds up. Remember, you always stay within the area that is just tolerable. This also applies, of course, to the effort of holding. If the pain is too strong, then you go out, then you go to the couch, as we said earlier. Always listen carefully. You must feel enjoyment mostly during the exercises, and through the effort or stretching, it should not happen that it is no longer enjoyable. This is the most important. It must be enjoyable. Keep sinking further in. And now press with your leg against the ground. Really press against the ground and relax and go further in. And once again, you press against the floor. Press really hard, release gently, and push further in. And try to notice exactly where you're feeling the pull. This can be the outer leg, the outer thigh. It can even pull a little over the knee. Then something can happen at the pelvis. You can feel it in the hip joint, above the pelvis, towards the spine or towards the armpit. You can notice it everywhere. And we tighten up again, pressing firmly with the leg against the ground with the right one. Come on, press really tight, look closely how it works, relax and push a little further in. And then slowly come out again, go into the kneeling position and feel your way back in. Sure, it is exhausting, especially the exercise is exhausting, but do you notice something? Yes? If you want to do even more for your lower back, then click here for back training. And otherwise, we will now do the last exercise. And for the last exercise, please lie on your back on the mat, stretch your legs, and now we go into rotation. This exercise is super important for the spine. Take your right leg, stretch it out, and your right arm, move it back in the opposite direction. The left hand holds your right thigh firmly, and you let yourself sink further down with the arm, feeling the stretch now mostly above the pelvis towards the spine in the waist. Breathe nicely and observe how your right arm can get closer and closer to the ground. If you are on the ground, stretch your right leg properly and lift it a little further up along the ground. Usually there's a point where you lift at least one of the two things, either the right foot or the right hand, and you can pull yourself even further into the stretch. When both are completely comfortable, you just wait for the strength training, which is starting now. Now press with the right leg as if you wanted to lift it up and with the right hand down. And when you make contact with the ground, you also press with the right hand against the ground at the same time. Relax and try a little more, maybe with a higher angle, to get in even more, to generate even more rotation. And again, you push up with the right leg and down with the right hand. Hold the tension for a little longer and then relax and try to go further into the stretch. You can also lift your right arm a little more, then it could be that it moves further away from the ground and you can stretch deeper. And then come out slowly, move slowly, especially if you haven't done such exercises with rotation very often or for the first time. And then you turn onto your right side, extend your left leg out, reach with your right hand towards your left leg, hold it down, hold it firmly, and the left arm goes more and more downwards, and you breathe in. Breathe in deeply, breathe out deeply, and go further into the stretch. And observe if there is a different pull on the side, if there are any differences there. The more you consciously engage with your body in these exercises while stretching, while moving in general. The better you can assess what these exercises are doing to you, where you are making progress, where there are still difficulties, and so on. Now we start strength training for this side as well. The left leg wants to go up. You hold it firmly with the right hand. You relax and pull the left hand more downwards. And again, you want to lift with the left leg, relax and go even further down with the left arm. And again, you want to raise the left leg, relax and go deeper into the stretch. Even more. Maybe raise the arm a little and then slowly come out. Wonderful. Now feel inside. And if you want to watch more videos on other topics, click here. Down there you can subscribe to my channel. Do that if you are not yet subscribed. And don't forget to activate the bell so you will be reminded by YouTube when Roland is coming back. Goodbye.